Over 4 years ago in one of my first videos, I compared the older models of these two machines in a 15-minute video. Today I'm going to compare the new models in a shorter, more rapid-fire style video. I still get asked which of these two machines I would take if I could only have one. And 4 years ago, without hesitation, I would have picked the Compact Leg Sled because I found it more lower back friendly. Now, however, the decision is not quite so easy to make. I've had 2 Powertec compact leg sleds over the last 5 years, and I've had 3 Powertec leg presses over the last 7 years. So I have tens of thousands of reps on the new and old models of these machines, so hopefully I can help you make an informed decision when it comes to picking which machine is best for you. Cost may be the deciding factor when it comes to making an equipment purchase, but I think both of these machines are competitively priced, with the sled coming in at $10.99 and the leg press coming in at $15.99. So the sled is $500 cheaper, which is a substantial amount of money, but amazingly, both of these machines are 25% off for Powertec's Black Friday sale. Both were super easy to assemble, especially with Powertec's new and improved instruction manuals, and I think there's assembly videos for both of these machines online. However, I do think a second person will be needed to assemble the leg press because the platform and the upper and lower weight horns are all interconnected. I don't think the footprint will be a deciding factor when choosing between these two machines because they're both pretty compact. The sled is about 4 feet wide and 5 feet long, and the leg press is about 2.5 feet wide and 7 feet long. So the sled is only 1.5 feet wider than the leg press, and that's because of these weight horns, and the leg press is only 2 feet longer than the sled. And because I have the very compact body solid weight tree under the sled's footplate to make loading and unloading the machine easier, this sticks out just as far as the leg press anyway. The sled has a 700-pound max weight capacity, and the real feel is about 50% of the weight loaded on the machine, and that's because these guide rods are angled at 29 degrees. The leg press has a 1,000-pound max weight capacity, and the real feel is about 75% of the weight loaded on the machine, and these guide rods are angled at 45 degrees, so I do need a couple more plates on the sled for my work sets. There are 3 back pad settings on the sled, and there are 4 on the leg press, and I really like that these tubes are chrome and not powder coat. It makes adjusting these so smooth, and these new ergonomic adjustment knobs look and feel awesome. The padding on both machines is basically the same, and it's comfortable, durable, and it's textured so it offers some grip, and both machines are 12-gauge steel. The fit and finish for both of these machines is basically the same, so it's not like I would recommend one over the other based on build quality. Each machine has angled stainless steel weight horns with 10 inches of loadable space. The stainless steel is a major upgrade over powder coat because the plates slide on and off more easily, and they don't leave the mess behind that powder coat does when it gets rubbed off. There are 2 weight horns on this machine, and there are 4 on this machine. The sled's platform has 3 adjustments, and just like with the back pad tube, this tube is chromed out to make adjusting it smoother. Now, there is a downside to having an adjustable platform when compared to a fixed, and that's that there is a little more wobble when getting your feet into position, but once your feet are planted, it's very secure. Over here on the leg press, this platform is not adjustable, which makes it more secure. However, I do wish it had a couple of adjustments, but I've taken care of that with a squat wedge on the platform. The sled's platform is about 3 feet wide and 2 feet deep, and the leg press platform is about 2.5 feet wide and 2 feet deep. So they are pretty similar in size. The sled's platform has a lip that I can drive the front of my shoes against to help with stability. Similarly, the top of the leg press platform is angled so I can drive the front of my shoes against that for increased stability, but it also allows for a higher and wider angled foot position to target the glutes. Both are diamond plate to help with grip. Each carriage has 8 nylon bearing wheels that are smooth and quiet. Commercial grade equipment would likely have something other than nylon wheels, but these should last you a lifetime, and I've never heard of anybody needing to replace these wheels on models within the last 10 years. I don't leave plates loaded on either of these machines to potentially increase their longevity, and I do wipe down the guide rods and spray them with silicone spray from time to time. And one other area that I want to point out is these guide rods are 1 1/4 in diameter, and these are 2 inches in diameter, so that's one area where the leg press is quite a bit more robust than the sled. The sled has 3 locking points and a range of motion limiter if you're rehabbing. Without any modifications, here's what the sled's range of motion looks like. And this is a deep, good, full range of motion. If I wanted to, I could move the seat up a notch to further increase the machine's range of motion, but that would hinge me forward and make this machine a little more uncomfortable. I could also move the platform up a notch to further increase the machine's range of motion, but I would have a harder time keeping my heels planted. With my feet high on the platform, I can target more glutes, and with my feet low on the platform, I can hit my quads harder and increase my range of motion. However, the lower I put my feet on the platform, the harder I have keeping my heels planted. So what I've done is taken a 2x4 and I use this as a spacer, and then I put the squat wedge, which has a 1,000-pound max weight capacity, directly on top of that. And now with the squat wedge in place, I can put my feet lower on the platform and keep my heels planted. The leg press has 3 lockout points and the bottom safety. Right now the carriage is on the middle setting, and here's a picture showing the depth that I could get on this machine without the squat wedge. I don't want to remove this because the Velcro is so strong that it will pull the adhesive off of the platform. Another way I could increase the range of motion of this machine is to raise this seat up a couple of notches, but I have found the higher I have the seat angle, the harder it is on my lower back. When I leg press, I put the Powertec ab mat upside down behind my lower back, which just makes the exercise more lower back friendly for me. And just like over on the sled, with the squat wedge on the platform, I can increase my range of motion, but I can also put my feet lower on the platform and keep my heels planted. I really like having the squat wedges on these two machines because it allows for foot and leg positions that otherwise wouldn't be possible. And for this machine in particular, having the squat wedge on the platform makes the exercise much more lower back friendly for me. Another major benefit of these squat wedges is the need to use far less weight on these machines. There was a time when I was loading up this machine with about as many 45s as it could hold, and now I'm down to about half of that. The advantage to all of the additional back pad settings, platform settings, and even the squat wedge on the platform is to, of course, help the user find the right settings for them and their height, but it also adds variety to these machines. So if I ever plateau on the leg sled or the leg press, or if one of these machines start to hurt my knees, I can simply make a change to the settings. I can also think about some leg presses that are on the market that have a much smaller foot plate than this, which really don't allow for any variety in foot positions. And I can even think back to one of the Cybex machines that I used to use that wasn't as adjustable as this one because it only had 2 back pad settings. I can perform single leg exercises on both machines, and I can perform calf raises on both machines, but the squat wedge does get in the way for calf raises on the leg press. I'll also point out the sled comes with a calf block that has 3 settings, which will help users of various heights find the perfect setting for the exercise. However, I don't use this. I just put my feet on the bottom edge of the platform and perform calf raises down there because the platform no longer has a lip like the old model. When I'm doing calf raises on the sled, I put in the range of motion limiter just in case my foot slips off or if anything else goes wrong. And if you're doing calf raises on the leg press, these bottom safeties will catch the carriage if anything goes wrong. For anyone who is extremely tall, let's say 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", the leg press may be a better option than the sled because these guide rods are 50 inches long and these guide rods are 41 inches long. And Powertec regularly features someone who is 6'3" using this machine, and they're able to perform calf raises. And I even read a review from someone who is 6'9", who was able to use this machine for leg presses, but they weren't able to use this machine for calf raises. Quite often I get asked if I would take one of these over a pendulum squat, and with single leg exercises and calf raises, these are more versatile. However, I do think a pendulum squat will hit the quads a little bit harder, but there is the potential for it to aggravate the knees a little bit more. Also, these two machines are about half the price of most pendulum squats, and they take up about half the space of most pendulum squats. I also get asked if I would take a belt squat machine over one of these. Now, I had the Rhino and the Squat Max MD, and both of those machines are more versatile than these, but if you have a power rack and if you can barbell squat and if you don't have any lower back issues, I would take one of these over a belt squat machine. Now, I can't barbell squat because of my lower back, which is why I like the belt squat exercise so much. Also, quite often I get asked how these two machines compare to their competition. Titan has a sled, but it will not be the same build quality as Powertec. Force USA has a sled with a slightly lower weight capacity, and yes, that machine does have the shoulder pads, but from everything that I've read, the shoulder pads don't come down low enough to offer a full range of motion for most users. And Body Solid has a sled with a higher weight capacity, but it does not offer the same adjustability as the Powertec model. Aside from some of the budget brands, Powertec is one of the only companies that offers a compact leg press because Force USA and Titan only offer a leg press hack squat combo. Body Solid has their club line, but in the home gym equipment category, they only have a leg press hack squat combo. Bells of Steel also has a leg press hack squat combo, and as I've mentioned before, I don't like the hack squat exercise because that's how I originally hurt my lower back, and that exercise always seemed to hurt my knees. There were 2 major complaints for the older models of each of these machines. For the sled, it was the hook and spring installation and the hook scraping up against the frame of the machine when in use. On this new model, the spring has been completely removed. I do miss that hook automatically retracting when the weight gets engaged, but I don't miss the scraping. And for the old leg press, the carriage had to be lowered all the way down in order to load these lower weight horns, but with this new redesign, it's not an issue. The other major issue were that the handles and safeties were all in one, so it felt a little clunky. There would be times when I would be leg pressing and accidentally engage the safeties and hit the platform. Now, however, there's a dedicated set of handles on the new leg press. You may be wondering if I found any issues on the new model for either machine. And on the leg press, these rubber grips will get separated from the end of the handle. They're pretty easy to get back in place, but if I'm squeezing and pulling hard, they will come down a little bit. Other than the leg press handle, I really haven't had any issue on either machine, and Powertec does a really good job of testing these machines before they send them out to the marketplace. And the winner is Well, it's not quite that simple. If you're not going to modify these machines like I did, and if you have any lower back issues at all, I would go with the Sled because I think it's a more lower back friendly machine. Also, if you have any mobility issues, I think it's easier to get in and out of the Sled. Also, I like having the weight under me as opposed to above me, which makes this more like a hack squat without the load on the shoulders. On the other hand, if you want a staple that's found in most commercial gyms, and if you're extremely strong, I would go with the leg press because of its 1,000 pound max weight capacity and 75% real feel compared to the 700 pound max weight capacity and 50% real feel on the compact leg sled. So you won't need to load as many plates on this machine. I also think this machine looks cooler than the leg sled. I think it looks kind of futuristic, and I like its more narrow design. When I choose to keep a piece of equipment in my garage gym, it has to check 5 boxes. First and most importantly, it has to hit the target muscles really well with a full range of motion. Secondly, it can't cause me any joint pain. Thirdly, I have to be able to incrementally increase the weight. Number 4, it has to be versatile. And number 5, it can't take up much space. Luckily, both of these machines check all of those boxes, but if I could only pick one of these, I'm going with the leg press. Because of its higher weight capacity, I have a little more room to grow into this machine, and I feel the leg press hits my quads just a little bit harder than the leg sled, but I'm only taking the leg press if I can put this squat wedge on the platform. Luckily, you can't go wrong with either of these. I think they're both exceptional machines, and I think they're both fairly priced. I am fortunate to have both in my garage gym because I love variety in my training, and I think they're different enough from one another to have both. I use the sled on one lower body training day, and I use the leg press on a different lower body training day. If you've been trying to decide between one of these two machines, I hope this video was helpful. If so, please consider using my Powertec US or Powertec Europe affiliate link at no additional cost to you. It helps me out, but more importantly than that, it lets Powertec know that I'm helpful to their brand. And I also recommend that you all take advantage of Powertec's Black Friday sale. These are the best prices I've seen on Powertec's products ever. Also, if you found this video helpful or at least entertaining, please consider liking the video, leaving a comment, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And remember, if your equipment lacks, I got the hacks. Take care, everyone.